Seems legit.
Hey Legitimates, welcome back. Today I have finally decided to fix my laser area. As you can see, it's a bit of a shambles. So instead of having a bookshelf and a desk, I'm going to turn the bookshelf into a workbench. So obviously first what we need to do is remove all the things. I'm putting them inside my sewing room so that they don't get any more dirty. And I'm going to get rid of that and then blower out all the dirt with the blower. Now, I went to Bunnings and I got just a piece of stuff that needs to say structural. And then once you pay for it, Bunnings is actually awesome enough and they cut it exactly down to size with their fancy machine. So I ended up with 2 meters by 65 centimeters for my actual top, and then all the extra bits are left over. So turn it on the side, and then any random little bits that are on it, just scratch them off. And you're just going to lay it on top. Now, you want to get it centered, so I did use a measuring tape for that. And then I just bought self-drilling chipboard screws, and they worked really, really well, and they were like $4 something. And I did some, and then I went, okay, no, I want more just in case. So pretty much anywhere where anything lined up is where we put them. So now we need to work out our brackets to make more shelves, because obviously the shelves are now the wrong way and I don't need long skinny stuff. So I'm going to use some of the supports that are already there, and then I'm just going to measure it on the other side and put them in line. Now, the first time I tried this, I used screws in that tiny little space and it just wasn't working out. So I eventually went and got clamps to hold it in place, and then the screws still didn't work, so I ended up putting nails in. Now we need to know how deep my space is. This is a random bit of wood I had that just happens to perfectly fit in the space. And because I don't have a miter saw, I am using the drop saw and just going from both ends so it fits in. It is a little bit tight. You just whack it down with a hammer, problem solved. I also ended up having to whack it a bit forward because I want them to line up at the front, like so. And then we move on to the next one. So we're just going to repeat that process over and over for all of the different spaces. And then about halfway through doing all this, I actually decided that we don't need the brackets that thick, and so we will in fact cut them shorter. But all this wood here is just the excess left over from the one piece of timber that I bought. So because this is wider, I need to get the jigsaw, and I just cut the middle bit with the jigsaw because it's quicker to use the drop saw. So here you can see I'm just going to cut it down roughly the center. It's not perfect, but it is close enough, and they will still work as brackets. If you wanted to, you could mark it in the center so you knew where the center was. I'm also half nailing the nails through, so it's easier when I get there to just put them straight in. So they're just peeking out. Then I'm going to measure where I want it. That's the basket that's going to live there, so I just needed to make sure I made it tall enough for that. Sorry about my knee being in the way. I do some weird hammering on weird angles so you guys can see. But see how much quicker that was than the first time I tried to do it, because the nails are mostly in. So now I'm going to get more of the wood, and I'm just going to mark up the next piece. The way I just did that was you lock the, what's it called? Oh my gosh. You lock it in place anyway, and then just run it along the edge. So again, we cut the sides, and then I use the jigsaw to cut the middle. Sorry about the vibrations, there was nowhere else to sit. And then you can just make as many shelves as you want, and it's all done. So now I can actually have my drop saw in my area. There's a space for the laptop, and there's actually a workable area so I can make things in that space.